One day, in the course of one of his riding excursions into the country, Baha'u'llah, accompanied by his companions, saw seated by the roadside a lonely youth. His hair was disheveled, and he wore the dress of a dervish. By the side of a brook he had kindled a fire, and was cooking his food and eating it. Approaching him, Baha'u'llah most lovingly inquired, "Tell me, dervish, what is it that you are doing?" "I am engaged in eating God," he bluntly replied. "I am cooking God and am burning him." The unaffected simplicity of his manners and the candor of his reply pleased Baha'u'llah extremely. He smiled at his remark and began to converse with him with unrestrained tenderness and freedom. Within a short space of time, Baha'u'llah had changed him completely. Enlightened as to the true nature of God, and with a mind purged from the idle fancy of his own people, he immediately recognized the light which that loving stranger had so unexpectedly brought to him. That dervish, whose name was Mustafa, became so enamored with the teachings which had been instilled into his mind that, leaving his cooking utensils behind, he straightway arose and followed Baha'u'llah. On foot behind his horse, and inflamed with the fire of his love, he chanted merrily verses of a love song which he had composed on the spur of the moment and had dedicated to his beloved. "Thou art the day star of guidance," ran its glad refrain. "Thou art the light of truth. Unveil thyself to men, O revealer of the truth." Although in later years that poem obtained wide circulation among his people, and it became known that a certain dervish, whose name was Mustafa, had, without premeditation, composed it in praise of his beloved, none seemed to be aware to whom it actually referred, nor did anyone suspect, at a time when Baha'u'llah was still veiled from the eyes of men, that this dervish alone had recognized his station and discovered his glory. Messengers of God throughout history, such as Moses, the lawgiver, Jesus, the Son of God, Muhammad, the seal of the prophets, the Bab, the gate, and Baha'u'llah, the glory of God, had the power to cause miracles. While stories such as these are remarkable, they should not be seen as proof of God's messengers, because, well, then even a magician could cause you to believe in him. Abdu'l-Baha, Baha'u'llah's son, who led the Baha'i Faith after his passing, said, "Many wonderful things were done by Baha'u'llah, but they do not constitute proofs. The true proof of the messengers of God is in their words, for the word of God has a miraculous regenerative and transformative power that cannot be counterfeited. When their teachings have the ability to change people's hearts, to open their eyes to a greater revelation of God, and to inspire them to be of service to others, that is the real miracle."